Spider-Man figures are the easiest and most accessible toys to come by, and they're everywhere. There's a new Marvel Legends coming out, it looks pretty good. The 3 live-action Spider-Man are getting Mafex soon. The SHF Spider-Verse figures are coming out as well, and they all look pretty good, but that Peter B is pricey as shit. But there is this one suit, it's live-action suit, and hasn't gotten love as of recent. Hasn't got a bunch of toys, no figures of recently. I'm talking about the Amazing Spider-Man 1, TASM 1. There are a few good figures of this thing out there. The Marvel Legends does not fucking count. That looks garbage, man. The Marvel Select one came out, and that was pretty damn good. I used to have that shit. I thought it was like amazing. I thought like it was the most accurate thing ever. And I thought, wow, it came with like a background piece that I'll never use. Little did I know, that's the only one that remained in my fucking collection. I don't know where that fucking Spider-Man went. There's this Figma one that came out. That is pretty damn good. Except, it's not really that screen accurate. The paint is kind of mid, and I don't think the web lines are painted. I just think, alright? And the fucking discs on its legs. The discs on its legs, that is just fucking garbage. I hated looking at it. I hated looking at the reviews of it because of that fucking big ass disc. But anyway, this one figure that came out, it was a new figure line by a trusted Japanese import company, Mafex. The first ever Mafex to exist ever is the Amazing Spider-Man one. That shit was such a strong release. The articulation was great, the screen accuracy was great, the paint was great, the sculpt was great, and it fetches for more than my college tuition apparently. Well, we now enter this bootleg company called CT Toys. They've recently announced this Amazing Spider-Man Mafex 001. Damn. The preview shots are great. The paint, when it was finally ready to be released for pre-order, amazing. So I had to fucking cop it. And damn, I got it. First in-hand impressions of this guy, it's fucking amazing. Except for the box. The box looks really fucking beat up. I don't know what the hell it went through, but it sucks. I hate it. Alright, who fucking cares about the box? Let's just crack this thing open. Man, he looks perfect, I have to say. The paint is perfect, almost. The sculpt is great. I'm pretty sure they changed up some stuff. I'm gonna show it on the screen right now. Of course, you're never gonna fucking like avoid it for a bootleg company. It's smaller, but I think the scale does work. More on that later. But yeah, it's on the small side. And the hips though, they fixed like the hips issue. The fucking hips back then were like pretty wide. It had this ugly ass fucking hips that really broke the sculpt up. And then they fixed it. I'm like surprised. Okay, that's a good modification. And the paint is great. Some people are gonna prefer that a darker sort of look because that's more accurate, I guess. But yeah, moving on to the accessories, we have a nice stand, a decent amount of hands, and web accessories that I will never use. I'm just gonna take a moment to really appreciate the amount of detail they have for the hands. The blue sections aren't out of place, the black lines are painted quite nicely, they don't look rough around the edges. I really pray that there will be no paint shipping issues for this guy because they really went all out. They even painted the web shooters. That is a very small detail, and they got it right. Although his articulation is outdated compared to like a modern Mafex, I do think that it's still passable. His upper torso can go down that far, but if you support it with the lower half, it can go down pretty far. And if you move it up, pretty good range of motion. Not the best, but you know, it's still pretty good. The arm can swivel quite nicely, but I've encountered an issue with my left arm here. It's very tight, and when I move it, it's like this joint is just too tight to move. So the pieces just like can't move all together, so I just have to like pinch the entire arm. The legs, they go up pretty nicely, but it is at an angle. It's weird. You can do the splits perfectly, and then there's a problem. The legs are super loose, both of them, but the left more so. Swivel, swivel, swivel. The head is really impressive. It's great. The knee bend is okay. Pretty nice range of motion. The toes is alright. Toe hinge is great though. And I didn't mention it right here, but the hands are very easy to interchange. It's great. There are no problems. It's smooth, it's tight enough, and it's not that loose. It's great. And also, this detail with the reflective lenses. That is really impressive, man. Okay, size comparison time. We have a decent scaling with the CT Scarlet Spider. He isn't too out of place. Paired with the Hush Batman, I mean, he is a pretty tall guy. So it makes me question just how tall is the original. But anyway, where this guy really shines is the posing. Getting this guy in a pose is one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. And I have handled a Revoltech before. There's just something about the lanky, thin proportions that work perfect with Spider-Man. The detail and the paint really helps bring out some more life into the figure. If it weren't for the QC issues that I've had, this thing would be a perfect figure. Even though that some articulation is just not that great, it's damn near perfect. I really recommend this guy. He would probably be like a 9 out of 10. Because of the QC issues, I have to lower it. I have to give him an 8. An 8 out of 10. It's still pretty strong. Overall, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that my first video was to your liking. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that shit, but you know, thanks.